In the first question, we're looking at just a general statement about the octet rule and that why chemical reactions to gain a full outer shell are an octet. And we're given an example with hydrogen and chlorine reacting to make hydrogen chloride. I think the most obvious thing, first of all, is to talk about the example we've given. Hydrogen has a full outer shell and it only has 2 electrons that it's sharing in that covalent bond. So clearly that's not an octet. And then we've got the chlorine atoms, which share a electron pair and a covalent bond and have a full outer shell. So both these molecules have full outer shells, and yet clearly they are not reacting to gain full outer shells. They already have them. So that doesn't seem to be a major issue. So we'd point that out. We'd talk about hydrogen, we'd talk about chlorine, the fact that hydrogen has 2 electrons, and in theory it's got a full outer shell, but it still reacts. And you should make reference to the reason things do actually react, and that's got to do with the fact that usually the product's going to be lower in energy. The product's bonds will be stronger than the reactants, and that the actual activation energy for that reaction, for it to actually take place, if it's spontaneous especially, is going to be reasonably low for that to actually take place. So you could mention those factors as well as the fact that when we look at the periodic table, we only see some of them actually doing this. Obviously it's possible to have a full outer shell that's going to be more than 8 electrons, and so you could talk about that as well. And that would probably be enough for this question, just talking about all of that quite thoroughly and using the examples.